Hey, everybody, it's Mike Ward, AAMN Vice President, and we're just going live again. Our conference is about to wrap up, and we've had an amazing week. And we'll go ahead and close out here another video for you guys a little bit later. But we met some really interesting people here at the conference, and here we're going to be walking around in a minute, kind of roving around and getting some people's opinions of the conference. But I have particularly one person here that I really would love for you guys to hear from. Very, very esteemed gentleman. This is Colonel. Well, can I? Colonel.
Colonel is good.
Colonel Michael Frazier, and he is a cardiac nurse, and he's also an ED candidate. And how you been?
I've been good. Really enjoyed the conference. Really had a lot of fun. Met a lot of interesting people, got some great ideas, got some help from my own schoolwork. So it's been good.
That's awesome. So you became a nurse after the military?
No, actually, what happened was in my high school, they had an LPN program, a VOTEC program. My sister had gone through it before, and I was wanting to be a physical therapist. And so what happened was I thought, well, only women can be nurses. No, au contraire, brother. And she introduced me to this guy named Marion Hargett, who had just come back from Vietnam, had this curly mustache, and we shook hands. Hi, my name's Marion. And so that kind of started me on the path to going through the LPN school, and then 5 or 6 years later, going to the University of Central Oklahoma to get my bachelor's degree.
And so how long did you work as a nurse from then on?
I just continually
through the military?
Oh, no. What happened is I graduated from the LPN program in 1975.
Oh, okay.
And then I graduated from University of Central Oklahoma. It was called Central State back then. In 1982, and the next year I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Army Nurse Corps. I spent a year at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, and then I went on to Fort Riley, Kansas, and I was at Irwin Army Hospital, and then I was also assigned to the 16th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. And then when my term was done, I joined the 312th Evacuation Hospital in Greensboro as a reservist.
Wow. So I don't know if you know, but I actually have a son that's in the Army right now.
Okay, good. Where's
he? So he's in the Army Reserves.
Okay.
He lives in McKinney, Texas, so that's north of Dallas.
North
and
Dallas.
He's completed one semester of school. Mm-hmm. He has inclinations of also becoming a nurse.
Good.
And I had no say in that. I didn't push him to become a nurse or anything like that.
You probably had a good role model.
Maybe so. I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so. So yesterday we presented 3 awards,
Mm-hmm.
the Gene Tranberger Award, right?
Right.
And that was for the candidates had to be recognized as just really great writers, right? And it was Bonnie Schmidt, it was Brent McWilliam, and it was Jason Mott. All just fantastic, phenomenal people, right?
People.
And they've done some great things within the profession. But I found it interesting. You actually have a story about Gene Tranberger, the person.
Yeah. Well, he was, when I was getting ready to go to Desert Storm, I was taking courses at UNC Greensboro. He was my mentor. He sort of sent me off to war, and my advisor, when I came back, AAMN was coming to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, sponsored by Duke University and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And it was about Christmas time. It was like early December, and I had a small 2 or 3 year old red-haired daughter at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so Gene was wearing a tweed suit with a vest. He had a beard, and he come walking around the corner, and my daughter looked up and went, "Oh, it's him!" And she's just like
Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's lit up.
Yeah.
Daddy, it's him, And so Gene kind of played along, and they found a comfy chair. She plopped her little self down in his lap and looked at him and says, "I want a toy farm for Christmas." And that's what she got for Christmas from Santa.
That's awesome.
It was a precious story. Got to meet. People know Gene as a professional, but I got to know him as a personal friend and mentor, and he's meant a lot to me. He's been great to my family and my wife and Riley and my daughter Riley. Now she's got children of her own, but it's always been one of the great memories of AAMN for me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. A lot of people don't know. I never got to know him. Unfortunately for me,
you would have. You
I've heard nothing but great stuff.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
held every office within AAMN,
Yes,
right?
yes,
he was
has.
president twice,
Mhm.
right? I mean, the
That
guy
is
was
right.
just solid, just an amazing guy all the way around.
Right,
But you
yeah.
got to know him from a
Yeah, I
personal
got to
level.
him on a personal level.
His family, like his.
Got to meet his wife. Unfortunately, she had died a couple of years ago, and had a somber ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. Her ashes are buried there at Arlington. Full military honors with a 21 gun salute. But it was very somber, but it honored her as a nurse
Awesome.
and a Nurse Corps officer.
That's awesome. Well, listen, hey, I really appreciate
Well,
you,
thank you.
taking time
Okay,
to hang out.
Appreciate it.
How have you liked the conference?
It's awesome. I'm looking forward to San Diego.
Right on. Okay. Well, hey, man, you take care. Okay.
Bye-bye.
So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of rove around, see, get some more perspectives, some more opinions about how people have enjoyed the conference. Okay. So you take care. Okay. You be safe getting home. All right. Oh shit! Let's do that. I posted already on video on our Instagram stories to tag you. All right, guys. We're still. All right, everybody. So let's see what we can see. We have had just such a great time. It's everybody's kind of just in the last session, so there's not a lot of people walking around. But maybe I can get some perspectives from these wonderful folks here. Hi, guys. We're live right now. Wanted to know if we could get your perspective on the conference and what you guys have thought. Could you give me some? I'm going to hand you the microphone.
Sure. I really enjoyed coming to the conference this year. I came last year too, and it's a really good opportunity to meet a lot of people in the profession and to really network and come up with some really good research ideas, and you can learn something too.
Thank you very much. You know what I love about the conference the most, really, is you really get to network with some great people. You know, I live in Dallas, but I'm always busy, and I don't often get to hang out with people who cause me to move. You know, to motivate me. Right? They say that you're really a mirror reflection of the top 5 people you hang out with most. Right? So you really want to hang out with people that are going to drive you. But when I get here, there's just so many people. You know, that just they want. I just want to go to that next level. You know, so coming to conferences like this, they really do that for me. How about you? What have you liked so much? I mean, much so far within the conference.
Can you hold it for me? I feel very inspired to go back to school and like share everything I learned here with my executive board as well as the student body. So I'm very excited to do that.
That's what I'm talking about, right? You get inspired, right? So that's awesome. Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you guys made it. Are you guys thinking maybe next year San Diego?
San Diego? We're in.
Yeah, San Diego. All right, awesome. Well, it's going to be fun. We actually rent out the whole hotel, so we're the only ones in the hotel. So it's going to be a great time. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's go. Let's go over here. It really is just amazing how inspiring it is. You leave this place, man, you're on fire. I mean, you get around these people, you might be like, well, I don't know. I got my bachelor's degree. I'm good. It really, really makes you rethink your future in nursing, because you start seeing what you can really do as far as nursing goes. It's not just bedside, right? It can be so much more. It's just incredible. It's incredible. Let's see. Yep. Everybody's kind of wrapping up. Where's Nurse Tim? Nurse Tim, can we interview you here, sir? I'd love to get your thoughts and perspectives here. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on. Here, I'm going to give you the microphone.
All right. Oh, thank you. Well, what we're doing at Nurse Think is we're trying to give students the opportunity to study everything as if they were standing next to a patient. So when you're taking notes in class, you're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to be thinking about that patient. When you're reading your textbook, you're going to want to be thinking about that patient. Our NCLEX review guide is very unique because it has patient assignments all throughout it. Most NCLEX review guides are just a list of bullets and thousands of questions. So we have the questions, but we also have patient assignments. Our conceptual cases allows you to study anything related to any type of healthcare. You've got a patient. And we also have clinical instructor videos where a clinical instructor is walking you through the patient. So even if you're doing it at home by yourself, you've got all that. We have a virtual hospital with 450 patients in it. Our 450 patients, so anytime you do something, you get instant feedback. All of our feedback is written by nurses in practice, not by academics, not by professors, but by actual people standing next to the patient. So this is a very powerful tool. You're going to get interrupted. You're going to be doing a dosage calc question, and a call bell is going to go off, and you're going to have to take care of that patient while you're doing it.
That is real life situation.
There you go. Our testing platform is very unique. So what we're doing here with our clinical judgment exams, we're taking a lot of our multiple choice questions and we're turning them into electronic health records. So instead of saying which of the following is most concerning to the nurse, we're going to say review this patient's EHR and click on what is most concerning. So this looks a lot more like clinical. We're creating dosage calculation questions where the answer is 0, because it's not just can you do the calculation and get a right number. You do the calculation, but you also have to evaluate the entire patient. So the patient might be allergic to the medication you're trying to calculate. So the answer is 0. And so with our clinical judgment exams, these are like your other standardized exams, but the students are going to get practice questions ahead of time that are going to allow them to practice this way. We would never test this way if we don't teach this way. But we have to test this way because this is what's happening in clinical right now. So all of this is designed to meet where NCLEX is headed. NCLEX is being turned upside down right now because they want NCLEX to look a lot more like practice. So we've given students the tools. None of our tools are meant for one class. They're meant for every class, every clinical, every lab. You use our things across the curriculum. So that's what Nurse Think is all about. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's definitely a team effort. So
where can people find this information? Where can they get you? If they
best place to go is nursethink.com or nursetim.com. So nursetim.com is all for faculty. Nursethink.com is all for students. And we've got tons of videos on both of our YouTube channels. We've got tons of activity and games going on our Instagram. So yeah, definitely going to want to stop by and check it out. Drop us a note. What do you need?
Amazing.
So.
Is there anything that AAMN members might be able to take advantage of?
Well, if you're an AAMN member, we actually, because AAMN supports our projects in Haiti, all AAMN members get an unlimited access to the Nurse Tim webinars. So in our webinars, we have things like the opioid addiction crisis, we have mental health for men, we have for professors, we have how to write a test item. All of that's in that Nurse Tim webinar service that AAMN has.
Awesome. Well,
all right.
Listen, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you
all
very
right.
much. All right.
Thank you.
I mean,
Stay in
we're
touch.
wrapping up. How do you like the conference?
Loved it. Loved it. I love the energy in there. Dr. Gray was phenomenal. What's going on with the 611 team on human trafficking, so relevant right now. We need it. So great conference. Can't wait for next year.
All right, man. Hey, thanks again.
Take care.
All right, take care. All right, guys. Well, we're just going to wrap this up. We actually have one more session where we're going to be closing up shop before we close down the conference. And so we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We hope that next year we can have you here in San Diego for our conference, because it is going to be amazing. It just keeps getting better and better. So that's it. That's it for me for now. And I guess we'll see you soon.